This is the Sons of Montezuma Podcast. The Aztecs get their first win of the year, and now it's on to Salt Lake City.
We'll get it away. It's a liner. Bird makes the first man miss. Out near midfield, there he goes. Jordan Bird has to beat the punter and will. Touchdown Aztecs on cue. San Diego State an extra point away from being all square. Yard line, play action. Burmeister with running room. Shows off his speed. Inside the secondary, still on his feet. Burmeister into the end zone for his first Aztec touchdown. They've got a first down near midfield. And a handoff for Bird, who hesitates and breaks free. There goes Jordan Bird. Foot race down the sidelines. Inside the 10. Bird is near the pylon, but he stepped out of bounds. Now they're going to say touchdown, Jordan Bird. Burmeister wants to throw. He's got a man. Touchdown, San Diego State. Tyrell Shavers, his second of the season. Third down, handed off, up the middle, in for the score, Cam Davis. 37 unanswered points for the Aztecs. And for the first time in school history, a victory at Snapdragon Stadium for San Diego State.
San Diego State University.
Welcome back to another episode of the Sons of Montezuma Podcast. What's going on, guys? All Aztecs fans, we are here. It is week 3 now. I am your host, Mateo San Diego. You can find us at Sons of Monty on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Definitely subscribe to the YouTube right now. Every week, we're releasing the videos of our podcast, our highlight breakdowns with Coach C, and a lot of other cool things. So definitely subscribe to YouTube. I'm joined with my co-host here. He is El Capitan, protecting our borders from sea to shiny sea. K5 James, good to see you, man.
What's up?
And back for some more punishment is at D Morton 78 Dirtball Dan. What's up, Dan?
Yo.
What's going on, dude? How you doing, man?
Well, the Aztecs won. First win in Snapdragon Stadium. They beat Idaho State 38-7. So I'm doing well. You know, it was my brother's birthday at the tailgate and at the game. So like it was kind of hard to focus on every single aspect of the game. We were having a great time, just kind of seeing all the different views, different perspectives all around the stadium, which was great. You know, it wasn't sweltering heat. It wasn't a hurricane storm either, as we were kind of expecting maybe. But you know, everything turned for the better once the team woke up after that crazy, what was like a 75-yard second play touchdown pass that Idaho State had. Like everybody was barely getting settled in their seats. And before you know it, it's 7-0 Bengals. And everybody was just like, whoa, okay, what's going on here?
We missed it. Where were we doing? Like, we came back in and we were like, what the hell? Like, 7. I thought when I saw 7-0, I just assumed it was the Aztecs. 7-0.
So you guys were sitting in field club. You guys ditched me and went and chilled on Gucci Row.
Yeah, the thing about it is when you're going to those club seats, you're kind of like underground, so you're not really aware of. Say you do come in late, you're not sure what the hell's going on. So by the time we got to the seat, we looked at the score and we're like, what the fuck? Like we were so confused.
It sucked, man. Like we kick off, and then like the first, even before they hiked the ball, they called a timeout because they weren't ready or whatever. They called a timeout, ran a play, didn't go for much, and then the second play, just like a simple slant, and dude just took it to the house 70 yards, and everybody was looking at each other like, wow, okay.
See, the reason it was confusing is because when we got there, it was because I think SDSU went 3 and out the following drive, right?
Yeah.
It was like. We go there and we see them walking off the field and it's 7-0 and we're like, dude, this can't be right. This will be a long season.
Well, I'm telling you guys, so last year I looked it up. 12 12 FCS teams beat FBS teams last year in 1 year. That's a lot. That is a lot. This year, there's already 6. 6 FCS teams have beaten 6 FBS teams. So, by the way, man, how about Utah State, dude? What happened to them?
Ooh, man.
Weber State? Is that how you say Weber?
Yeah.
You see where the coach got pissed at the fans for booing him?
It's the sorriest quarter of the league.
How do you get pissed at your fans for booing? You get green by an FCS school. Like even Rocky Long didn't get mad at the fans when they got rolled by Eastern Illinois.
Rocky Long would have been like, dude, you guys deserve it.
Okay, let's go through the list really quickly. FCS teams that have beaten FBS teams already this year, okay? William and Mary beat Charlotte 41-24. Delaware beat Navy. Eastern Kentucky beat Bowling Green. Okay, these are all kind of fringe, right? Holy Cross beat Buffalo. Who's UIW?
I don't know.
Oh, they're the ones who beat Nevada. Incarnate Word.
Yeah.
Weren't they the ones that beat UNLV in basketball too?
I don't know, man. Who hasn't beat UNLV?
Early season, like, gimme games?
Incarnate Word, 55-41 over Nevada. Damn. Oh, that's a shame. That deserves a shame. And then Weber State, 35-7 over Utah State. So, hey, as long as we don't see San Diego State up on that, Idaho State, I'm okay.
It's not a banner week for the Mountain West Conference, to say the least.
Dude, we're like the 3rd or 4th ranked G5 conference right now.
Yeah.
Was the Sun Belt Conference is like
I think the G5 from the Sun Belt is amazing.
Appalachian State, dude.
Could be.
Wow. That stupid Texas A&M pep rally. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, I watched it too.
So cringy. Super cringe. You know, Idaho State is probably one of the worst FCS teams out there. I mean, UNLV just torched them, you know, in that opening game for like, they put like a 50 burger up on them. But after that first play, it was like, oh, there's no way. You know, this defense, we all had our questions about this defense after playing a very talented Arizona team. So, you know, I know we're sounding very grim to start this episode. Like, we won the game. They didn't let up another point the rest of the game. But to start off that ways, man, it was feeling a little uneasy.
I still have a lot of questions about this defense. Like they weren't. I mean, I know the final score looks impressive, but watching the game, it wasn't impressive at all. The front six wasn't really they weren't getting any penetration really. They were kind of getting pushed around a little bit by the Idaho State offensive line in the running game. You know, not crazy, but like, you know, Idaho State was getting 4 or 5 yards a carry. It seemed like almost every play running the ball. You know, this defense this year so far hasn't played like the defenses we're used to, where everybody's running around, flying to the ball. There's a lot of guys missing tackles. There's just a lot of guys having to make one-on-one tackles. There's not a lot of like gang tackling and everybody flying to the ball like we're used to. So I don't know. That may just be, you know, from watching it. We haven't been able to sit and watch a game on TV yet this year. So I don't know if we're just missing something and it doesn't look like that on TV, but being there and watching the games live, this isn't the same defense where we, you know, a decade plus of watching. So that's, to me, that's the most, I mean, we can talk about the offense, but the defense is the most disappointing part and the frustrating part of what's going on so far this year.
I kind of feel like they won, so it's fine. Kind of like they won, so it's fine. But you see a lot of these issues, and when you're watching it at the stadium, it's really hard to tell what's going on. But it seems like we don't really have that much explosive athletes in our front seven. Like, we're not that fast, and maybe we're playing a little timid, scared to make mistakes. But yeah, defensively, the reason like you're concerned about the defense is we never have high expectations for the offense. Yeah. But we've gotten used to having high expectations for the defense. And it's hard to explain because you see the score and we know they got that one touchdown on a long run. But even then, even shutting them out the whole rest of the way, like you just feel like there's something missing. There's a few things not clicking, and it's really hard to put your finger on it.
So that was the first score of the game, right? And after a couple 3-and-outs each team had, we finally got on the board, and it was my player of the game. It was a punt return, Jordan Byrd. You guys got to see that, right?
Yeah.
And sure enough, right, against an FCS opponent, these type of situations is where you kind of expect Bird's speed, like you said, to kind of shine through, and he did. Got us on the board, and it woke the team up, basically. Like, the energy was different. You know, you tie things up. And then before you know it, our defense made a play and knocked their quarterback out of the game. Like, literally knocked him out of the game, messed up his shoulder. Like, I think it was like a collarbone or something like that, but they take him off the field. It's like Tyler Vanderwall, I think his name was. Big play, big hit. You figured, okay, the backup's going to come in. You know, we're too familiar with backups, right? Kind of torching us historically.
Hey, Matt, real quick, let me hop in on this though.
Yeah.
Because that's the one replay I did see was that sack. And if you did watch it, they literally just didn't. No one blocked him. He had a free hit at the quarterback, so it wasn't like he beat an offensive lineman one-on-one. Look, we'll take it, whatever. But I want to see some like wins via technique and beating someone, you know. But go ahead.
You're not gonna get that. You're not gonna get that clean shot like against hardly anybody else. That was just like, just go ahead and
like I was like when I watched it the stadium, I'm like, damn, he got back there fast. And I watched the replay, like you literally don't see one person even trying to block him.
I mean, maybe like the Idaho State linemen didn't like the quarterback and they're like, come on in, man, give him a free hit. Jeez. But yeah, that changed the game because then you bring in the backup who didn't have a bad game. I mean, you know, his numbers weren't great. Numbers weren't bad, but it's a backup quarterback. So, and ever since then, you know, Braxton, we could get on to Braxton. He busted for a huge 47-yard touchdown run, which was really great to see, right? It's kind of like Jordan Byrd, where that speed just shines through against lesser athletic, lesser talented defenses. Because Jordan also ripped off like a 50-yarder, you know, in the third score. And so it was like 21-7 for the longest time throughout the game, all throughout halftime, well into the third quarter. I think it wasn't until late in the third quarter we got a field goal and, you know, gave a little more separation, a little more comfort. And, you know, I think everybody was just kind of enjoying the environment of being at the game. I know I was. I was like, you know, couple beverages deep, not really, you know, too caring about the game. I felt like it was never out of hand. It was never out of control, but you could see where a play or two here or there, a drop pass here or there. I know we had a fumble. Braxton did fumble, but our defense never allowed the Bengals to capitalize off of anything. There was a fourth down play where one of our DBs, I think it was Celestine, I think he knocked it down and it was a fourth down, or it could have been basketball, I'm not sure, but you know, we just didn't give up any points, didn't give up anything after that. So we just began to ground and pound on, you know, with the running game. I was impressed to see with running backs, but we were all looking to see more from the passing game. And I know we talked a little bit about it because UNLV just threw all over these guys. Greg Woods from the Idaho State Journal said that was their weakness, is you can pass on these guys. That's the way we're going to win, is if we pass on these guys. And we still really couldn't put together, you know, something that is, 108 yards passing, guys. It's not ideal.
No, it's embarrassing, actually. Like, our passing offense is putrid. I thought we were promised something going into the season, that Aztec fans were going to be excited with the type of offense that we're going to have. We're going to be throwing the ball. We're going to be scoring averaging 30 points a game on offense or something. Am I taking some of Hecklinski's comments out of context? But he was pretty braggadocious about what this offense is going to do. And we're on like 5 different quarterbacks now. So this isn't a quarterback issue. It's a system issue, maybe a coaching issue. But at some point, Jesus, you got to be able to throw the ball. We're going to go against some offenses where we got to put up points, especially this year with when our defense doesn't look top 25 caliber this year. So it's frustrating. It's really frustrating to watch. The offense just never gets on a roll. Nothing is ever easy for it. So discombobulated that, like, we're playing Idaho State. Idaho freaking State.
Hey, they used to call us San Diego Stinking State, dude.
Yeah, 108 yards would be one thing if they were throwing like 12 passes, 15 passes. But they threw 26 passes, man. And to only have 108 yards, it's like, dude, against Idaho State, come on, man. UNLV torched that defense opening week. It seems like everything is just kind of, oh, well, let's do this play. Well, let's do this play. It kind of seems like real, like, scatterbrained.
And it kind of brings up, I think, the point from last week is it's really hard to explain because we have zero identity on offense because we don't even know what we do. Like, what are we? We don't know what we do.
Well, let me ask you, though, because what would you guys say? Because I saw a little bit of this chatter online. What would you say to the person that kind of rebuts and says, well, guys, we had 380 yards rushing. We ran all over the field, right? We scored touchdowns on the ground. I mean, 380 yards is a lot, and that should be expected against an FCS opponent. Like, that's always been our identity, is running the ball. And I hope that doesn't ever completely change. But what do you guys say to that Aztec fan that says, hold on, we ran for 380 yards on the ground?
I mean, I'd say, why is it either or? Why can't we run for 200 yards and pass for 200 yards? Or, like, we're not going to be able to run and get for 380 yards against Utah. This is, it's not going to happen. And those were some long runs in there, and some of them came towards the end too. Bragging about being able to run the ball against Idaho State, I'm not here for that because whatever. I saw what we did offensively against Arizona too. So this isn't a one-game sample versus Idaho State. It's really a 3-year sample of this offense since Hecklinski, and since we've had a philosophy change.
A big significant portion of that yardage came in the second half when the game was pretty much done. But
you got those two big runs from Braxton and Jordan as well. So
Braxton. Okay, so I'm not counting the quarterback runs. I don't want to have an offense based off long quarterback runs.
But like Armstead had that big run in the, like, what was that, the third or fourth quarter? So, I mean, that was one of the bright spots, is he looked really good running the ball. But, like, how much of it was that other team was just worn out from their defense was out in the field a lot? I would say, yeah, I mean, obviously that's great. They ran for all the yardage, but the inefficiency of the passing offense is still scary. Like, Jesse Matthews is going to have to get the ball. Tyrell Shaver is going to have to get the ball.
And by the way, I could see frustration from Jesse Matthews too. I see him on the sideline. I see him standing away from everybody else. I could read so much into it or whatever. I mean, I'm reading too much into it. But, I mean, it has to be frustrating for these wide receivers too. These are like, we have talented weapons on this team. It shouldn't be this hard. I see teams with an offense be much more efficient with less talented players. It shouldn't be this difficult.
I feel like these things should have been ironed out already. I mean, you're dealing with a veteran quarterback like Braxton, and it doesn't all fall on him. I understand you got offensive line, you got running backs, receivers, but this offense returned a lot.
And you know what, man? Know what? I feel this coaching staff purposely or wanted to come up with to know who was going to be the quarterback early on, right? After spring, they basically declared Braxton. And the benefit of doing that is it gets him the reps, gets him used to running the offense. But it still looks all discombobulated. It still looks crappy. Like,
yeah.
It almost seems like the offense is too multiple. It's too varied in formation.
Yeah.
They're trying to do too much. And instead of doing the few things that you're really good at, like running power, running ISO out of the spread, you can still running read. Braxton Burmeister is one of the best weapons on the team. I know Dan doesn't want to hear it, but running the ball, like, why aren't they running more read option? He's one of the best athletes you have on the field. Like, make him a weapon. And they do a little bit, but they don't like you're supposed to find the things you do well and just do them until they can stop you. And it doesn't seem like it seems like they're trying to outthink. And like we talked about in the very first game against Arizona, they ran in obvious passing situations and pass the ball in obvious running situations. Like they were outthinking themselves, and it seems like they're still like they're trying to like be one step ahead of the defense. And sometimes you just got to line up and let your guys be athletes, let your guys make plays. And it doesn't seem like they're doing a lot of that. It seems like they're trying to outthink. Just run ISO, run power. Like, let's get back to being physical. You can still be physical out of this offense, but they just got to do it.
And run some good play action fake, like some heavy play action fake. Use your tight ends. There's no more excuse for not getting our tight ends involved. It's ridiculous. Last year, we couldn't get Daniel Bellinger involved. This year, we can't get Mark Redmond involved. Like, what is going on?
Damn. I don't even know where to go from there.
That was my mic drop moment.
Yeah. DBD out. We didn't even talk about that, dude. Toledo's a 12:30 game after all that shit talk we put down on there on the fans.
I feel stupid because I kept saying, dude, it's a one-time game at 12:30. We're never gonna have these games again.
And then fucking 2 weeks later.
Totally redeem ourselves. Like, man.
I think it's gonna be a lot nicer. At least we won't have that like humidity and shit,
Yeah. Oh, dude,
it was so like how some fans like you see on Twitter like, oh, California is so weak. No, dude, that shit was fucking brutal. Like, like I've been, we went to the Arizona State game, right? I've been to some hot places, dude. That shit was fucking miserable. But if you were in the sun, it was miserable.
Dude, I fucking live in Yuma, and I was fucking dying, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody tell me you're soft. Whatever. Fuck you. I live and work in Yuma, and I was dying at that game.
Dude, yeah. I don't want to hear this over dramatic shit, dude, because I was dying during the tailgate. Just like it was just fucking miserable, dude. Like I look at the kids and they look so exhausted, and they're not even playing. They're just sitting there. They look like they're about to die.
I can't believe our kids made it through that shit, man. They were fucking troopers.
Father, can we have some water, please?
More
Hey,
Father.
Did you guys see trash on your side or what?
Dude, this game was like a redo. It was kind of like, okay, second chance for first impression. And everything went a lot better. I mean, the environment was so much more happier because the weather was nice. Like, no trash. We were up at the scoreboard bar, and everybody was it was just a beautiful evening. Like the game, like I said, the game was kind of ho-hum, and everybody was just having a great time to be there,
Dude, they did better about getting the crowd into the game too.
Yeah.
They'd be like, get loud, I actually felt like the crowd get loud a few times.
I like the light show and shit when they score a touchdown too. That was kind of cool.
On the ribbon board, there was like flames and
yeah. But even at the top, the top lights.
Yeah, the top lights, they kind of made them like flash or like blink.
Which, dude, we're never gonna have a night game to see any of this shit.
I was gonna say, it'd be cool, like for the fourth quarter, if they like turned out all the lights, like when getting ready to go into the fourth quarter. Remember, because we had the Stanford blackout game. Like if they kind of did something like that, like make it a tradition.
Yeah. And at this stadium, it doesn't take like a whole hour for the lights to warm up so you can turn them back on again, right? You can easily like do the clapper, just pop, and all the lights go off, dude. It's awesome.
Honestly, dude, what they should do is like in the third quarter, like go all dark, but then just maybe show the show because that'll get them to stay to this part, and then do something with that.
That's a great. Can we talk about the show, dude? The student section has been amazing the last two games, man.
I know, dude. I'm scared that the way they're playing, they're not going to keep it up, dude.
No, I think they're going to keep that vibe going all year, dude, just because it's, not all of them are going to get to go to these first few games. So, like, it's going to take the whole year to cycle through all the freshmen that want to go to the games and all the students that want to go to the games. I think it's just like it's an event right now. So they're all wanting to go.
They're having a blast. They're loving every single. They're so close to the field. Like,
what's cooler about it, dude, actually, is that like you always felt like the students were so separate from you at Qualcomm, right? You actually kind of feel like you see them all around now,
Yeah. They're like part of the game. They feel like they can impact the game now.
Yeah.
So dude, I think this is going to totally change the culture at San Diego State around football. Because all these kids are coming, having a blast at these games. And, they're going to remember it like, oh, next year, yeah. Or when they graduate, you know what? That was so much fun. I want to get season tickets. And that's how you build a fan base, man. Yeah.
By the way, James, you're right. Dude, Toledo put up like 55 points last week.
Dude, Toledo's good. I've been saying it. I don't know how many times I got to say it.
No one ever cares about what you say now because you've been so wrong so early on.
Jesus Christ.
Why are you talking, man? Shut up.
Okay, so what were the bright spots? Can we point out some bright spots? Because like we said, it is a win. A win is a win. I don't care who you're playing. You put somebody down 38-7. You got to shine some light.
Here we go, Mateo. This is the part where we got to brag about our punter. Once again, we don't get to talk about position players. It always has to be the damn punter.
Well, we got to give respect to where it is due. Jack Browning. I saw a tweet, and it came from FAU, at FAU kicker punter, and they said, just went to our history books. Jack Browning of SDSU had the best one-game performance of any FBS punter in any week over the 2019, 20, or 21 seasons. Amazing percentile rank of all 6 punts compared to punts from the same yard line in past 5 years. So, hey, maybe we are punter U. Is that what we are?
I was talking to Dan about it on Saturday after the game. I was like, whether it's Doug Deacon or whoever is responsible for scouting kicking talent, man, you gotta give them their props, because you follow up the previous guy with this freak of nature, man. It's crazy. Yeah, that was an impressive day. Not only that little run he did too as well. He's a good athlete. He had a touchdown run against UNLV last year. So yeah, it's super cool. Like, it's nice to not have to worry about that one dimension of the game, at least.
That's right. We needed to run a punt fake against Idaho freaking State. I totally forgot about that.
Well, correction, that touchdown run was against Hawaii last year. But was
it against Hawaii? Oh, my bad.
It was against Hawaii. But yeah, he's capable, and he's the one who has to make that call. So he makes that in-play decision whether to actually go through with the fake. So I know.
A bright spot for me, like I said, I mentioned Armstead earlier. He looked really good. I think the offensive line is starting to gel a little bit. I think they're starting to look better and better, especially that young right side. Dan and I kind of focused on Simmons and Musuli a lot in the game. And I think there's good things coming with that front five, man, on the offensive line. I think there's going to be, towards the end of this year, they're going to be pretty dominant.
I mean, we were able to run the ball against Arizona too with our running backs. Like, we could run the ball with running backs. I wish we'd kind of use it as our style, where we run continuously, power or ISO, like James calls for, and not get all cute with jet sweeps and screens or weird stuff. Like, we could pound people, we just don't. And we could, if we started pounding them, then we could really set up the play action. But we don't. That's not even. It seems like our runs. We'll have a great run, and you think you just go back to it and back to it and back to it, but it doesn't seem to happen for whatever reason. So it feels like the next play, maybe we get a false start, or the next play, something just doesn't. We get a tackle for a loss. Like, it never is just a clean. We're never in a groove offensively. There's always something that kind of screws us up.
Yeah, I mean, when you got talented running backs like that, Keenan Kristen got some run. I know he broke a long one. I personally, Cam Davis has been running really well. He scored a touchdown, and Jalen Armstead, I'm really excited to see him. He's got that good. He's got that good, size to quickness, and can run you over ratio. Kind of like a little young man's Natron Means out there. I like it. I hope they do give him the ball more. And coming up against Utah, we talk about Jack Browning and the special teams punting, but dude, this might be the type of game where you just really have to just pound the rock and try to use your special teams, your ball control and field position type of thing. I mean, how are we going to even try to take down this Utah team, man? Cam Rising.
Normally, I would say before the season, I would say, ride the defense, try to run the ball, play good special teams, and just try to let them make the mistake and you capitalize. But the only thing I'm hoping is that this defensive line is more built to play a team like Utah, where they have kind of the size to go up against Utah's offensive line. But I don't know, man. I think that's just wishful thinking at this point. I think they are what they are. They're just we miss Cam Thomas too much, and I'm about 60% less optimistic than I was before these first two games heading into this game. Like, I felt pretty good about it before the season, but now I'm hoping they can keep it close and that give us a good time watching the game over there in Salt Lake City.
Well, we're gonna be out there, James. You're the gambler, man. Tell us, what's the point spread at now? I think it's got to be what?
I think it was like 21, and I'm probably gonna take the points and hope San Diego State keeps it close to at least win me some money if I can't watch them win the game.
What's funny, Matt, is that I saw an SDSU fan that saw the 17.5 points and they said they liked it. But now it's 21 points. Like, do you like that too? Or I love 21 points.
I mean, anytime you're double-digit underdogs to a Pac-12 team, like, I'm not happy about that. I thought we left those days, long gone after this 7-2 run that we were on. Like, I'm not happy about that. Utah's a great team, though. They're a really good team, right? Rose Bowl last year. Could have beat Ohio State. This year, they're even better. I mean, Cam Rising is coming back. He's even better. They're number 14 in the nation.
They're physical on both fronts. They've got an explosive running back. Obviously, their quarterback, we saw what he did the second half of the game against San Diego State last year. So, yeah, they're going to be tough to stop. Maybe their weapons outside aren't like game breakers, but he's good enough to get it to them in a position where they can make plays. So, I mean, I'm not saying there's zero chance San Diego State can make something happen here, but the defense has to play light years better than they played these first two games. So
what strategy-wise, what would you do as a defense, knowing how they've performed? I know what I would do. I don't think it'd be popular for anybody to hear it, but.
Well, I think when we played Arizona and we blitzed a lot on defense, we were pretty terrible at it.
Right.
I don't think our DBs are good enough to hang one-on-one. And I don't think our front seven is good enough to get to the quarterback, that it's going to be a guarantee that we're going to get to the quarterback on the blitz. So if anything, you might just have to go more bend, don't break type defense, hopefully for some mistakes from them. But, I mean, maybe blitz one or two, but nothing big. And,
you're reading my mind, man. You're reading my mind.
I mean, that's how I would personally play. Hope for some mistakes, keep the game close as long as you can. Make them go up and down the field.
Yeah, and definitely on offense, be super conservative. That's what I would say. Try to use clock, run the ball. You want to shorten the game, basically. So you want to get them off the field as fast as you can on defense and hold on to the ball as long as you can on offense. So even a three and out where you run the ball twice or even three times, but you use up like 2 minutes of clock, that's a win for the offense.
And one more thing, Matt. I think if I'm the coach and I'm the staff or I'm Brady Hoke, I'm going in this game thinking I'm going to use all 4 downs. Like, you got to hang on to this ball. So if you're at, midfield and it's 4th and 3, go for it. I'm thinking, like, when you're designing your offense, get to where it's 4th and 1s and 4th and 2s a lot and really consider going for it a lot. Because we need touchdowns. We need a lot of touchdowns. So go into the game thinking you have 4 downs to get this first down, not 3, 4.
Because really, in the grand scheme of things, okay, we've already lost to the Pac-12 Arizona team. You got the whole conference schedule ahead of us after Toledo. We're not ranked. We're probably not going to be ranked even if we beat Utah. So I agree, man. Just you got to play conservative as far as the scheme, but in the situation, if it's 4 down, yeah, you're going to have to be aggressive but play within your offense, play within your capabilities in this game.
Kind of talked about it against Arizona at one point. They were on our side of the field, and it was like 4th and 4 or something 3rd and 4 or something like that, we're like,
run it twice.
Yeah, you got 2 plays, run the ball twice. Like plan on when you get on their side of the field, plan on 4 down territory every play. Make your play call for that. Okay, we can run the ball on 3rd and 4 because we're going to go for it on 4th and 1 or 2 anyway. So that's what Dan's kind of alluding to, and that's the point he was making, is be more aggressive in that way. Like plan on especially on our side of on the right side of the field, 4 down territory. You know,
I think it's like, dude, you said it perfectly. I think it's a really big advantage if you know you're going to go for it on 4th down, because you can really game plan that. You can just say, hey, get close on 3rd down. You know, so hopefully they try it. You know, because we're going to need to do some things like this to keep it close and to stay in the game.
When it comes to defending Cam Rising, I just remember when he got in the game, he was able to really ad-lib and kind of freestyle and make things happen, maneuvering the pocket, finding the open guy, and it was just killing us all in that second half, all in that 4th quarter. So, I mean, defensively, I keep going back to that because, I mean, they're explosive on offense now. Is that something to where we can really not even blitz at all and just keep guys back in coverage and just dare him to really stay in the pocket and force him to pick us apart rather than improvise it, how he killed us last year?
Well, I guess it's what you consider a blitz, right? Because I'm okay sending 4 people on our 3 defensive line, or maybe even a 5th, but I don't want too many man-on-man situations with their young DBs out there, because they get lost. There's a couple times against Arizona where, you know, they this one-on-one against some of these athletes, it's pretty tough on them. So I wouldn't mind sending a 4th or 5th, but I'd very rarely send more than 5 people.
Yeah, but to me, I'm not even worried about Rising as much as them leaning on our defensive line and that running back going off for a big game. That's what's going to kill us. Because they've got a pretty good offensive line, and that running back is a big, explosive running back. And that's what I'm worried about. Rising, yeah, he can do crazy stuff, but like Dan said, there's things you can do to kind of not stop it necessarily, but you can kind of slow it down and game plan for it. You can't game plan for your guys getting pushed around and them running ball down your throat. Like there's only so much you can do about your guy.
And I would say it's so much more demoralizing to not be able to stop the run than as opposed to not be able to step the pass. Like not being able to stop the run is just, you can feel like the game's over because no one even you feel like they don't even want to be out there anymore. You can't stop the run, you know? So I feel you there, James.
Yeah.
I think you're talking about Tavion Thomas, running back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and Micah Bernard's good too, man. So it's tough. It's going to be tough. So in the second quarter with it, 21-0, and those guys are getting rolling, and we got another half of watching them just run the ball over us. That's not what I don't want to fly all the way to Salt Lake City to see that, dude.
And by the way, I think part of the way that we're talking about this game is almost like subconsciously trying to get ready for it if that does happen. I've already told myself, look, if San Diego State loses or gets beat down pretty badly, it's my chance to go to Utah. It's my chance to go see that game. I'm going to make this fun no matter what. So I think there's I know I'm speaking for myself mostly, that, you know, I'm kind of getting ready for what could possibly happen.
I'm right there with you, man. I've never been to Rice Eccles Stadium. That crowd, it's going to be an electric atmosphere, man. They're going to be pumped. And they want revenge, man. They want revenge. The Mountain West team beat them last year, you know? That had to hurt, you know? They were pretty confident, But
yeah, by the way, they will be running that score up if they get the opportunity.
Yeah. Reason I was alluding to the running game, but we can't stop them from running the ball. They're going to keep sending those 2 guys at us. And if they break a 50-yard run, 40-yard run, they're not going to stop. It could be a really long day.
I mean, the thing is, they still have playoff aspirations. They go undefeated. They'll have a chance still. That's not a bad loss that they have at Florida. I mean, it's going to depend on other schools, but they want to go to the playoffs. So they got to make the scores look great. They did last week.
And of
The
course,
Sons of Montezuma are coming. We don't know how this game's gonna go. It could be a shocker. We might shock the world. We might shock all of the state of Utah. All right, guys. So who's our picks for this Utah game? For the offense, who went first last time? I think Dan went first last time. So James, you get the offensive first pick.
Man, on offense, I'm gonna go with a guy who's gonna have to step up and make plays in clutch situations. He's gonna have to pick up some, mid-range third downs, maybe some mid-range fourth downs if they listen to Dan. And I'm gonna go with Burmeister.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go next. So I'm gonna let it roll. I'm going with Jordan Byrd once again. I think he's a super senior. He might be able to make something happen on special teams, because if we're gonna have a chance to win this game, we got to make something happen on special teams. So I'm gonna run with Jordan Byrd. That's my offensive player.
I'm definitely not going to go with anything that involves passing the ball. So I'll go with Keenan Christian. I saw some explosive plays out there from him.
Yeah. He was one move away from breaking that long one. He just barely got tripped up.
Yeah.
All right, who you got for the defense, Dan?
Baskerville.
Okay. All right.
I think they're going to throw a bunch, and I think he could also help in the run as well. So,
okay. I'm going to go ahead and roll with Michael Shawcroft. I saw a lot of activity last game.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, man. Him and Caden were flying all over the place, but I just saw we said we wanted to see the defense come out with their hair on fire, and Shawcroft was definitely, I think he was on a different level intensity wise that, he definitely stood out. So I'm gonna roll with Shawcroft once again.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the easy pick and McMorris. I'm sure he's gonna be busy a lot in run support. Like Dan said, when they do throw it, he's gonna have to help cover up for the corners that are still not quite there yet, man.
All right, guys. Any score predictions, or are we just hoping for the best?
What first popped into my head was Utah 45, SDSU 21.
I don't even think I want to put a score prediction on there. I don't think I want to go there.
I'm gonna go Utah 33, SDSU 14.
Oh, I thought you were gonna not make me be the only homer here today. I gotta do it. All right, I'm gonna say it. Aztecs 28, Utah 26. I'm saying it. Last second field goal, Jack Browning to win.
Dude, I thought you were just gonna pick it close enough to where the points are covered.
I want to see an upset. We're making this long trip all the way out there. I want to see something happen.
Dude, don't let this game ruin the trip, dude. Don't let the game ruin the trip.
Nah, never that.
This is still gonna be an awesome trip, no matter what happens in the game. But I hope they at least make it fun.
I want to get into the second half in a competitive game.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to visiting our new conference mates, hopefully. Our new renewed rivalry against Utah, because I want to see that happen. Whatever happens, Big 12, Pac-12, I'm fine with it. But this would be a really cool semi-annual road trip to Salt Lake City. And so I'm looking forward to checking out that stadium that I never got a chance to back when they were part of the Mountain West. Guys, anything else we need to add to it?
Oh, man, I think we're going to get everybody nice and proper bummed out.
Yeah.
Before the game.
I'm excited on the inside. I can't wait to be there. And, maybe we'll have to do some live reporting live from Rice Eccles there on Twitter or something like that for the fans that couldn't make this game. But, hey, from the Sons of Montezuma, we'll see you guys all out there in Salt Lake. Whoever's making the trip, hit us up, let us know. We'll buy you around or something, bring you out some koozies if you're out there in the Utah area. All right, guys, sonsofmontezuma.com is Mateo San Diego signing off for K5 James, Dirtball Dan. Go Aztecs.
Go Aztecs.